Welcome back to Time Freedom Daily. This is your spot for your daily dose of business building, motivation, investing, crypto, everything in between to get you that knowledge. And today is a big day. I first want to say happy Thanksgiving to you, man. How was your
Yeah,
weekend?
absolutely. It was great. It was good. It's good to see you back. You've been since we last saw you. You went to your music festival, and then you went camping. So you've been
We
out
did
for a little bit, but
a little time freedom,
that's
got to
it.
share with the family, got to put the time in and, you work hard, you play hard. And, that's what gaining this time freedom is all about. So I know you guys were having a lot of fun as well with the family.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great time, and we're loving this weather. Got our Christmas tree yesterday, so that was fun. But yeah, having a good time. Having a good
Excellent.
time.
Excellent. So yeah, a lot happened over the weekend, huh? Over the last week
It
with
did.
some crypto news, and we're going to dive into that today. So, what are your thoughts on that, real quick, Chris?
Well, yeah, because I have a lot of friends on social media, of course, that are still skeptical of crypto assets, wondering what's going on. And so every time the news is all over a correction or a dip, everybody freaks out and everybody's like, oh, is that the end? What's going on? And so I did a little video on Saturday kind of explaining where I believe, what was going on and where we're headed. And we are not financial advisors, of course. We are just two guys that have done pretty well in this market, and we want to kind of share what we've done. But yeah, that's why I thought it was a good idea to come on Monday and just kind of bring up what's been going on.
Absolutely. And before we get started, guys, please hit the like button, subscribe, share this out. This information is very time sensitive, and there's a lot of good information there. It helps the algorithm, helps us get noticed. Again, we are trying to build this
Mhm.
YouTube channel, and we'd love your help. So let's get going with the market watch here. Let's see
Absolutely.
what's going on with the coins.
Yeah, actually, it's been a good day so far. So I'll let you
Absolutely.
cover that.
For sure. So market cap is back up to 2.7. It got down, I want to say to 2.5 ish, and
Yeah.
has recovered
Mhm.
nicely. Bitcoin's trending in the right direction. It all really happened from this kind of, let's call it not fake news, but this Omicron something or other, the thing that's going on with the thing around the
Mhm.
world. So, and people get scared, and it's the
Right.
retail people. It's the people like you and me, not the banks, not the institution. It's not that. So we see people get scared and the price plummets. And then
Mhm.
when you also have leveraged trades out there and people get scared, the leveraged traders get liquidated, which again enhances the drop back, and it pulled back about 10%.
Yep.
And we've recovered very, very nicely. I mean, Bitcoin is approaching back to 60,000.
Mhm.
We're about 10,000 off of our all-time high. Not a big deal. We will get back there. I know Chris is going to pull up a chart here in a second. Pull up that chart and show what we just broke out of, and
Well,
take that for a minute.
that's actually a good idea. I'll bring up my Bitcoin chart here, and let me show you guys something. Um, we're on the daily here. Let me go back to the hourly chart. This is Thanksgiving Day. All right. So I want to show you guys something that where we are right now, we have already recovered through this whole dip. Actually, you know what? It was funny. I was watching something this morning, and they talked about this being an inverse Bart Simpson dip, where you have a line like this that goes jaggedy across the bottom, then a line right back up top. But on Thanksgiving Day, where the institutions are closed, and it's a lot of just whales, individual account holders, retail traders, you can kind of see there was some excitement building because, again, we talked about this last week, or I talked about this last week. People get around the Thanksgiving table, and the younger folks that are getting into all these cryptocurrencies are telling their parents that hey, this may not be a bad idea to store some money in. So there is some excitement around that on Thanksgiving Day, and then you can see at the night where some people and the thought process is this might have been some whales selling off, and then the news broke of the new thing. And so this is where the good news is we did hold very strong, and then
I
ever
think we
since
hold
we've
on.
been
What
up.
was a 100-day moving average? I think it kind of bounced off that.
Yep, exactly. Yep, I was watching that, and then we held. Plus, we held this line of support, which this line of support goes way back. I've drawn that on the chart for it goes over a month ago, but we're still holding that line of support, and then bounced right back up. And just recently, if you looked at my video on the weekend, I talked about these big descending wedges. We just broke out.
Nice.
That is usually an exciting time. So we're going to keep
Absolutely.
an eye on that.
Absolutely. I watched Cryptos R Us this morning, and they talked about another chart where we're looking at a potential again, a potential of going up to 80,000 without very much resistance before we see maybe another pullback, another cool off period before we make another run. And,
yeah, that's exactly kind of what I saw. And just looking at this range from the last time we broke out, if you move, hang on a second, let me see if I can grab this. All right, where did it go? No, it's not letting me grab it for some reason. Oh, there it is. So if we grab this breakout and move it up, it's about the same thing. It's about 80,000. So yeah,
Right.
I agree. We're all, when everybody's kind of seeing the same numbers, that's usually a good sign.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, folks, there's a lot of people out there that are saying, this market is supposed to end in December. I don't believe it. I know Chris doesn't believe it. We believe that there's definitely a potential for a lengthening cycle. Again, we're not financial advisors. This is not investment, advice, but these are things that we feel. Just because of it's a completely different ball game than it was 3-4 years ago. It was just all us 3-4 years ago. There's no companies buying, no institutions buying, and when those people buy it, it's not like they're looking for a quick buck. They're looking to hold it as a hedge against inflation. And this is what Bitcoin is so good at. So, that's why we feel that we can see a lengthening cycle into maybe towards the end of the first quarter, maybe even longer, depending on what happens with some of the ETF that we're waiting for as well. So going back to Live Coin Watch, let's take a look at, I want to just look at Ethereum real quick. And
Ethereum's having a good day too.
Exactly. It's up a few percent, but most importantly, after all of this negativity, we are literally only $400 away from all-time high.
Yep.
That's it. It's not like we're 30%, 40% off. We're a few percentage points away from all-time high, and again, back into price discovery, which is where we want to go. So, the one coin that I'm worried about, I'm glad I kind of pushed back, is I'm a little worried about Cardano. Again, this is just my opinion. Cardano needs some news. People bought on the speculation of the smart contracts being launched, which they're launched, but they really need a DEX, a decentralized exchange, which you have money flowing in and out. It creates liquidity for the coin, and that's really going to be the next wave up. And that Sunday swap is what's going to be launched there. But they're maybe having a little bit of issues, or the one thing about Cardano is that they don't do things until they get it right. They don't throw something out.
I was going to say patience in this market is everything.
And it's anything successful.
You're right, exactly. It's when people start like, oh, well, it hasn't done anything exciting. Let me switch over to something else. I know a lot of people have switched over from Cardano to Solana. Solana already pumped. Cardano didn't yet. And so that's why, don't take all your eggs out of that basket, because as soon as they drop something, boom, that's where you're going to see this number probably start with a 4 or a 5. So.
Absolutely, yeah, it's definitely when you're holding Cardano, which I'm a big Cardano holder, seeing a 40% drop over the last 90 days is a little unsettling. But I know it's still above where I bought it, so I'm not scared. I know this is going to go up. So other ones that are making their way up. Everything's in the green today. Avalanche is a beast. Solana's a beast. Yep. These are going to be up in the top 5 anytime soon. And, another one that is kind of struggling to get back over to, yes, $2. It's had a huge day, but, we want to see it get back up over that $2 mark. So, and then you've got your metaverse plays, like Decentraland and Axie Infinity. They're back up today, but Mana was up almost through the entire dip last week.
Yes, it held
same
very
with same with Engine Coin did very well as we speak about it as well. So another one we're really bullish on is VeChain. That's back down. It's a great time to buy that, and it's a great time to buy now anyway. Again, not financial advice, not investment advice, but when you see these pullbacks, when you see the fear and greed index, and Chris is going to get in a minute, which shows the how people are feeling, and it's really the retail people, the normal
Yep.
people like you and me, how are they feeling? And they always say, whether it's stocks, whether it's crypto, whether it's anything investment, when there's fear in the streets, when there's blood in the streets, that's the time that you buy. And I read that in many different books. And last year when the event happened, that's what I did. I looked at what was going on, what got hit the hardest, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I put my money in. And Bitcoin was
Right.
one of them, other than
Yep.
stocks. And it's done really, really well. So again, it may drop back a little bit more, but usually
Yep.
when it's in a fearful time or fearful market, it is
Mm-hmm.
a good time to get some money in and see what you can do with it. Again, not financial advice.
I
Chris,
would
talk about the
agree.
fear and greed index for us.
Well, yeah. So exactly, and that it's kind of like what John just said. It's a sentiment. It's an index of the sentiment in the market, and when there is a dip, and it's kind of like what I said on Saturday. I believe I did the video. When everybody thought Bitcoin, when it was 68,000, nearly 70,000, it was a great opportunity. All of a sudden, it went to 58,000. The opportunity is still there. It's on sale. And
Right.
so that's exactly why when you watch this fear and greed index, and it's actually up today. So yes, it's still a great time to buy. In my opinion, yesterday was an even better time to buy because it was less. But we watch this fear and greed index, and you'll see as the market starts to climb and climb and climb, it'll get back towards this green area. And it's just one of these indexes. It's good to kind of tell you where the market cycle is.
Mm-hmm.
Fear doesn't mean, at least in this point, when we are still in a huge upward trend. And I don't mean just looking at the last 5 days. I mean, looking at the last 5 months, we are in a huge upward trend.
Mm-hmm.
When that dips back to a fearful number, that means it's a good time to buy.
Right.
If you believe that the cycle's not over. So
For
again, just a
sure.
kind of an easy thing.
So I'm going to try to share my screen here real quick, and I am going to show you guys this one. This is a story, and it shows you right here. And retail investors extremely fearful, but history tells us it might be a good to buy. I wholeheartedly agree it's a good time to buy. And it goes into the fear and greed index, but it really just talks about, when people, be greedy when people are fearful, right? It always happens. It happened last summer, and the event happened. Everybody bought in, and everybody did well. But the most important thing to understand, which Chris is going to go over here in a second, is what the smart money is doing. Really should tell you that the fearfulness is what the masses do, but the
Right.
smart money are getting in. So, let me stop my screen share here, and Chris, bring up that story and tell everybody what's going on, what the whales are
Yeah, this
doing.
was it's not entirely surprising to me because every time we see a dip, this is exactly the kind of stuff that we see. And the headline is Bitcoin accumulation accelerates as whales buy nearly 0.3% of the total supply in 1 week. Now, John and I did a little math. The whales have purchased 59,000 coins in the span of a week as the price declined below 60. So, that fear and greed index is more like the little guys, the people that are new into crypto or the retail investors that, don't really understand things. The whales all of a sudden saw it like what we talk about. It's on sale. And how much was that, John? When
At an average price of 56, which we know they
Mhm.
had bought from 60 below. So
Yep.
let's just use a number of 56, which is almost the bottom, right?
Right.
And that is like $3.4 billion worth.
Yep.
That's a
In
lot of
1 week.
money in
And
1 week.
these are the whales. So these are the people that, as small investors, we want to get there, right? So you got to think like how they think, and you do your own research. Always do your own research and kind of educate yourself on all these things. But if you really believe that this isn't the top of the market, which all these people that are smarter than John and I, they don't believe that we're anywhere close to the top of this market. So whenever there's a dip like this, even back down to 56, 55, 54, that's your time to buy. That's not your time to get out of the market. And unfortunately, a lot of people do buy at 65 and then it dips to 55 and they think it's over and they sell then. Well, you're buying high and selling low. That is not the way.
Right.
As Mandalorian and Yoda would say, that's not the way. But do as
This
the
is the
whales
way,
do.
baby.
Yeah, do your research, and then when it dips, pick it up. So
Absolutely.
it was pretty amazing to see how much was just
And
bought up.
for sure. And to show you it's not just the whales, well, I mean, this next story is a whale, but it's a different kind of whale. So let me share this one with you, and bring this one up here. El Salvador, the country, buys the dip, right? They only had
Mhm.
100 more, but it's 5.5 million for a very small country to have and to hold. They know that this is the future, and they don't care about what everybody else is saying. Share a story about how there is some hate out there, but when people are making decisions that are good for them and they're the right decisions in their mind, haters are going to hate. It's just going to be a
Yep.
part of it. But it shows you right here, a country is holding more Bitcoin. To me, that is extremely bullish, extremely positive
Mhm.
sentiment that's out there. So let me stop my screen share here, and Chris, bring up that next story.
Yeah, well, that actually ties right in with that, and it's funny. I thought it was funny, anyways. Um, El Salvador's president responds to the Bank of England's criticism, and it's funny because he tweeted, "It concerns." Well, this is from the Bank of England. It concerns me that a country would choose it as its national currency. What would worry me most of all, do the citizens of El Salvador understand the nature and volatility of the currency they have? And the president responded, where was his response? Bank of England is worried about the adoption. Really? I guess Bank of England's interest in the well being of our people is genuine, right? I mean, they've always cared about our people. Always. Gotta love Bank of England. But what this article goes into is that El Salvador has been using the profits when it goes up. And the volatility is one of the reasons why this is attractive. Volatility is not a bad thing. Volatility makes this an attractive investment. And El Salvador is doing exactly what the whales do. When the asset goes up, they're using that profitability to build hospitals and new schools. And when it dips, they buy the dip. So they're buying the dip, and then when it goes back up, they're using that profitability. They're using the profits to build hospitals and schools. So I love that, and they're taking advantage of exactly what this asset represents.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
it's funny though because it's not their. It was also a misquoted
Mhm.
segment. It's not their national currency. It's a accepted currency.
Right.
Their national currency still there. It's also probably the American dollar is probably the most widely used currency. But it's an accepted currency, which is different than the national currency. That's not
Mhm.
what it was. So that was kind of funny that they would say something like that. But look, I mean,
I
what we're
agree.
seeing here, the volatility, this is what can make us all millionaires. It really can.
That's it.
And I'm not talking about overnight millionaires. I'm talking about generational future wealth, right? That's what I'm talking about. And
Yes.
you hold this Bitcoin, you accumulate a quarter or a half over the next 5 years. And I tell
Mhm.
you what, in the next 10 years, maybe 15 years, right? That could potentially be worth over $1 million. Just that.
Yep. And
Go
it's
ahead.
important that people stop thinking about this as a get rich quick thing. And like John said, it's really not. Think about this as an investment tool, and start getting into some of these coins. Buy when they're low, take some profit as it's going up, wait for it to dip again because it will, and buy again. And you do the smart things. Do what the whales are doing.
Absolutely. So, that's the news we have right now. There's some other altcoin news, but I think for now that really, just hammers home that it's okay, right?
Hmm.
Take the breath, right? Watch
Yep.
what's going on, figure out what's good for you, but more importantly, watch what the smart money is doing. That's what I
Absolutely.
do. That's what
Yep.
Chris does. You
That's
know,
it.
have we gone out on a limb and done something that we just always had a feeling about? Sure. But our main moves are moves that are generated by what other people that have a lot more money than us are doing. We just do it in
Hmm.
smaller pieces. You know,
That's
a
it.
gain is a gain, right? If I can
Yep.
get a
Trying to get
20%
those big
gain,
pieces.
right? If I can get a 20% gain or 100% gain, or for me, what Bitcoin has done for me over the last 18 months has been a 500% gain. So
Wow.
that's huge for me, right?
That's the goal.
You know, I mean, there's been some stocks, I mean, that we've purchased that have had, you know, multi 100% gains, and it's
Mm.
because we know what other people are doing. You know, Kathy Wood and all these other amazing investors that are making millions for their people. That's who I'm watching. So we're going to share this type of knowledge with you. It's not our knowledge. I'm not a financial advisor. Chris is not a financial advisor, but we're going to go
Hmm.
find that information. And for those that have no time to go do it, we're going to try to provide that. And then you from there can go get and do your own due diligence, your own research, and figure out if it's right for you. But we're going to try to get the building blocks.
Exactly.
We're going to try to build that
That's right.
foundation. If that foundation is
Yep.
strong, you can build a very, very nice structure on top. And that is our
You
goal.
can. You're right. And that's very true. So I think we'll wrap it up today. That was a good little segment. Was there anything else you want to bring up, John?
Nope, nope. I mean, look, it's Motivational Monday. The most important thing that I can say is
Well,
get
that was
out of
good
your own
motivation.
way. It was. Get out of your own way, check your ego, check your pride. Go
Yep.
find somebody who's telling and has succeeded and done something. Go attach that person and forget about, oh, I didn't think about it myself, or I didn't find it myself, or it wasn't my own personal idea. Who
Right. You're right.
cares? Do you think I
Yep.
got here today from my own personal ideas? No, they were formed on
Yep.
what other people have done before me and what I feel most comfortable doing. And that is the most important thing that I can say is go find someone and get connected and figure out what you want to add to your life going forward and get that time freedom you're looking for.
I love that. That's a great way to finish. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to hit that like and subscribe. And now that John and I are both kind of back from our vacations, we'll see you guys a little more this week. So
Absolutely.
thanks again, guys. Make today amazing, and we'll see you guys soon.